What's going on, family? I want to say thank you for joining me on another episode with Big Papa Eats. Today, we got another delicious dish we're going to make. We're going to make lobster, shrimp, and crab mac and cheese. And we're not using any imitation meat. We're going to use the real deal. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. All right, here are some of the ingredients that we're going to be using today. We got our crab legs, we got our shrimp, lobster tails, we got the cheeses that we're going to use, and all of our seasonings. I'm going to let you guys know what I'm using as we go along. But first, you know what we got to do? We got to wash up everything before we use it. Let's get into it. All right, guys, now we got everything washed up. We got our shrimp peeled and deveined, washed, cleaned. I got all my crab meat deshelled, and we got our lobster tails right here. We're gonna get ready to go ahead and cut these down the back and get that meat pulled out and get everything seasoned up, and we can start boiling our water to get our noodles done. All right, so now that you got all your seafood ready, we're gonna go ahead and throw in a 32-ounce carton of either chicken stock or seafood stock.
Once you got your pot filled with the chicken stock or the seafood stock, you want to fill the pot up and leave a quarter of the pot empty. Once you got your pot boiling, you want to go ahead and season up your seafood. We're going to add in some minced garlic. We're going to add some seafood magic. We're going to add paprika, and we're going to do some garlic powder. Now that you got your crab, your lobster, and your shrimp all seasoned up, you want to go ahead and give it a quick toss around and make sure everything is coated evenly. All right, so now we're gonna get started on our custard. We're gonna add 4 eggs to a bowl and 1 pint of heavy whipping cream.
And then we're gonna add in 2 cups of evaporated milk.
Now that the chicken stock and water is boiling, you can go ahead, add in the noodles, and then we're gonna season our custard with Tony's and some garlic powder. Right here, you want to use a whisk and you want to make sure you beat the eggs. You don't want any lumps. You want to beat the eggs and make sure everything is nice and smooth. Once the noodles are done, you're gonna go ahead and strain them off. You're gonna add in about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna season the noodles with some chicken bouillon powder. We're also gonna be adding in a tablespoon of cream cheese, garlic powder, and paprika, and then we're gonna give it a quick toss around and get those noodles coated evenly. Now make sure you toss everything around until the butter and cream cheese is melted. Now that you got everything ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and put a nice layer of butter around the Dutch oven, all the way around top and bottom. So now once the Dutch oven is nicely coated with butter, we're gonna go ahead and start building our mac and cheese. I'm gonna start with a layer of noodles, and then I'm gonna add a layer of each cheese, and then put my seafood and repeat the same steps over and over again until we get to the top.
All right, we're making our way up to the top. So we're gonna add in our last layer of noodles. We got our oven preheated to 350. We're gonna sit this bad boy in there for 40 minutes covered with the lid on. And then we're gonna put it back in for another 40 minutes with the lid off to get it nice golden brown.
Now, at some point when you get to the top, you want to make sure you push the noodles and the cheese and the seafood down to make sure everything is nicely compact.
Then we're gonna finish it off with our mild cheddar. All right, once you get everything piled in your Dutch oven, you want to make 3 holes, one in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right. And that's where you're going to pour your custard in at. So you want to make sure everything gets down to the bottom, and you should see it come up to the top. And you want to make sure you try to hit every hole evenly. You should see it rise to the top when it gets full. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once we put our custard in and we got everything to the top, I added some mozzarella pearls. This is cheese, it's not marshmallows. We're gonna lid it up and we're gonna throw it in the oven for about 40 minutes with the lid on. Then we're gonna take it off and put it back in the oven for another 40 minutes to get it golden brown. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway home. It just came out of the oven, and after the first 40 minutes, now I'm about to take the top off, throw it back in for another 40 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, family, we let this mac and cheese go for an hour and a half. And look at this seafood mac and cheese, man. You got shrimp in here. You got lobster meat, crab meat, no imitation, all authentic meat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make this one, tag me in it. Let me see what you got going.